It's time for a weekly Devo tip on the weird eye for an eye law in the Bible. Some laws in the Old Testament are weirder than others, and some of these Old Testament laws get even weirder when you see them in the New Testament. Take, for example, the weird law of an eye for an eye. In Exodus 21, it reads, "If there is harm, then you shall pay life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, stripe for stripe." Here we see that the eye for an eye is actually a principle. Any punishment must fit the crime. By preventing excessive cruelty and excessive leniency, true justice involves mercy. The eye for an eye is a principle. It was never meant to be taken literally. So if someone's eye did get taken out, if you take that person's eye out, you may unintentionally end up killing him. It's impossible to maim, burn, wound, or bruise someone in precisely the same way that they burned, wounded, or bruised their victim. So enforcing the eye for an eye principle prevented the never-ending cycle of retaliation. The eye for an eye principle is deliberately placed within the context of an example in Exodus 21:22. Say, for example, two guys are fighting and they accidentally hit a pregnant bystander. If the baby or the mother is injured or even killed, her husband has the right to seek restitution in a court of law for the harm done to his family. Eye for an eye was the guiding principle to ensure due process. God's laws created a system that required multiple witnesses to testify before civil judges. Unfortunately, the Pharisees of Jesus' day used the eye for an eye principle to encourage everyday retaliation. So if you get punched, don't hold back. If someone hurls an insult, you should respond with a tongue lashing. Well, Jesus had to respond to this. "You have heard that it was said, an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But I say to you," in Matthew 5. When he says this, he's not abolishing the principle. He's correcting them by clarifying God's original intent for it. Applying the eye for an eye principle is only appropriate in a court of law, not on city streets. Jesus goes on to say, "Do not resist the one who is evil." The word resist is used throughout the New Testament for legal disputes, and this fits the context here. So what is Jesus saying? Basically, avoid taking your enemies to court. But if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other cheek. Is Jesus saying that it's okay to be abused? Of course not. He's saying if someone gives you a backhanded slap on your right cheek, you should turn the other cheek. That is, turn your face to make it difficult to get another backhanded slap. Don't retaliate. Protect yourself, in other words. Do what you can to avoid abusive situations. Jesus did not come to abolish God's laws. He came to clarify them, embody them, and fulfill them. The Bible's weird eye for an eye principle isn't weird. It's actually quite relevant, don't you think? Tune in next week for more weird laws in the Bible.